What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Juve from the Six. Today's podcast 4.5, as you know, the midweek edition of the podcast. Today, we're going to go through a few different things. We're going to talk all about Italy. We're going to touch on some Juve news that I feel is worthy of touching on. So, I got my notes here. Before we jump in, as per usual, I'm going to get you to like and subscribe. But without further ado, let's jump into this. So, to start off, we're going to touch on Italy and Spain. If you didn't catch the game, don't even bother replaying it. To tell you the truth, it's fine. Just miss it. Just skip that. You're heading into the third place game this Sunday against Belgium. But of course, we're going to touch on it anyway. So Ferran Torres scored both goals. You know what? He's a stellar player. He is solid. I have my reactions and my ratings for the players. I'm going to link that into the comment section, just so if you guys want to touch on that or watch it, you can definitely get that. So Ferran Torres opened up the scoring in the 17th minute. Oyarzabal, this guy's name just always don't know how to pronounce it, but Oyarzabal whipped it across from the left side. That left side yesterday was just horrendous. Or that right side, well, our right, their left. But anyways, was just horrendous because Di Lorenzo got better as the game went on. But to start off, he was just nowhere to be seen. And then Bonucci had to come cover for him, which led to, I can't remember if that was the first or second goal, but he wasn't, he's out of position at that point in time. He's not fluid in that side. So Ferran Torres opened up the scoring. After that, Italy did have a chance to tie it up with Insigne, who missed a sitter. And I'm talking about, you got to be blind to miss this opportunity, especially when you are the caliber player that you are if you're Lorenzo Insigne. Bernardeschi had a chance. He started as a false nine for Italy. That was dealt by Unai Simon. He made Unai Simon work. But regardless, it was 1-0 up until about the 42nd minute when Bonucci, who got his second yellow. Again, my reaction to the first yellow is in the description down below for the video. Got his second yellow, sent off. It's his second ever red card for Italy. His first time since 2014 when he was the last man back against Malta. I don't know if you recall, but that was a last man back situation which resulted in a red at that point in time. This is also Bonucci's 112th appearance for the Azzurri, so not the greatest way to celebrate that as he moved into a tie with Dino Zoff. 3 minutes, 3 and a bit after, because it counted in the injury time. Torres again from Oyarzabal. They linked up twice. They got it. Like, it was just all Spain. That right side, our right, their left, whatever, was just horrendous. It did not stand a chance. Later on, there was a goal scored after. It was just all Spain from beginning to end. Yeah, Italy had their chances, but after the red card, it was just all Spain after that. Consolation goal scored by Lorenzo Pellegrini, who I think should have started, to tell you the truth. But again, my reactions are all down there, which was an incredible counter by Chiesa. Little too late on that one as the game ended 2-1. Fun little fact, or maybe not a fun little fact about this one, but under Roberto Mancini as a coach, since he joined in 2018, the two lowest possession games by Italy were against Spain in Euro and Spain in the Nations League in the semifinals there. So that's quite surprising. Looks like Spain has our number, even though, yeah, we won against them in Euro, but that was in the penalty shootout. So, I mean, maybe... Who knows? Who knows what that could have been if maybe not if there was extra time above that. I don't think players would be able to last. But again, maybe with that penalty kick, we were lucky to come up with the win there. That ended the 37-game unbeaten run by Italy. Unfortunately, it is a world record in unbeaten streaks for international teams. So all is not lost. Chiellini says this could be a learning curve, a learning deal for the team. So let's hope, because they are young. 37 games for a young squad like that. You want it to end, I guess. Now it's only Nations League. I mean, yeah, we would have liked to see them win the trophy, but it's only Nations League. So you know what? Just restart, get back into it. We got a World Cup qualifying break in November, so let's just focus on that. Let's also hope that we come away in first place after this international break, as Switzerland has to still play Lithuania. And I don't know what happened in their previous match, but let's hope that we still come away in first place. Because if Swiss do win both games, they tie us on points, but they got to score a total of 9 goals to overtake us, which is highly unlikely. But weirder things have happened in the world of soccer. So anyway, so again, more reaction and player ratings in the link below. I'm going to link that down there. It's time to set up Italy versus Belgium. So of course, there's a rematch from Euro. That game ended in 2-1. Goals from Insigne, that beautiful from outside of the box. But the first goal by Barella, that goal by Insigne tends to overshadow that goal by Barella, because you know what? That was actually a really nice goal by Barella. The way he turned that defender and ended up putting it over the far shoulder of Courtois. So themselves, Belgium, are coming off of a terrible 3-2 loss. The reason why I say it's terrible because they were up 2-0 at the 62nd minute and ended up giving up that lead to France. So, I mean, it's pretty bad. But I guess the hope of this one here is to finish third place. In head-to-head matchups, we as in Italy, have won 15 matches, have only lost and drawn 4 each there. So we do have the upper hand. They were the favorites heading into that Euro Cup game, and we all know what happened there. Spoke about it 2 seconds ago. So, I mean, who knows? Hopefully we could just bounce back from what just happened against Spain and get this third place result. I mean, third place is better than fourth and better than not showing up, I guess. Even in a tournament like Nations League, that is just not it's not something these teams work for. This is just more of a money grab. And I'm not too sure about what kind of money Italy would win if taking third place. So if anybody does know that's going to watch this, put that in the comments. Let me know, please. So touching on what's expected, the lineups as far as that. Chiellini came in against Spain. When he came in, as much as Spain did hold possession, I think it was all about Chiellini just locking it down and keeping it 2-1. I'm not saying with Bonucci it would have been a different story, or with Acerbi or Bastoni, whatever. But Chiellini did what he had to do. So I assume he's going to draw back into the starting 11 here. There is a potential national team debut for Inter Milan's left back Federico Di Marco. So will we see a full-on change by Mancini that would include him? Possibly, because also at right back, I mean, Davide Calabria deserves that start. I think he should have started against Spain because he did deserve that. Mancini did say the best players will start. And I mean, Davide Calabria has been better than Di Lorenzo, sorry. So maybe this is his chance right now. Will we see the false 9 by Mancini? Italy continues to struggle to find that number 9. Their wingers that draw in as a false 9 tend to be a little bit better than the Immobiles and the Belottis of the team of Italy. But do we see a chance here given to Raspadori to come in, who hasn't really looked too good for Sassuolo thus far this year? But I mean, maybe this is what he needs to kind of get his act together for his club team and also for the national team. Moise Kean picked up a knock, so it doesn't look like he's actually going to feature at all. So there's a good chance that we might go false 9 once again. There's also, if we do go false 9, do we bring in Domenico Berardi to play the right wing? He's looked good for Sassuolo, scoring actually 3 goals thus far this year for Sassuolo. Scoring 3 goals and adding 1 assist. So the chance of maybe playing Chiesa as that false 9, because I don't think Chiesa should be taken out, but Allegri's made comments about how Chiesa could be that center forward for Mancini, even though Mancini says no, he's better as a winger. So who knows what we see here. Bernardeschi did well against Spain. Wasn't given much because it was all Spain. But, I mean, going back to what I said prior, he did have that one chance on Unai Simon, and made him work, which is what you want as a number 9. Did a lot better than Insigne did not make Simon work at all. So, as far as changes, do you take out Jorginho, who has not looked good for Chelsea? I think he's still since the Euro Cup. So, I mean, do you take out Jorginho? We do have capable midfielders that could play. I argue that Locatelli should have been there for Italy against Spain. He has been Juve's best player over the last 5 games, including or whatever games, including Champions League. But in Serie A alone, Locatelli has scored 2 goals and 1 assist for Juve in his last 5 Serie A games. And he's averaged a 7.5 rating. This is via who scored. I mean, that's pretty unreal, right? So no offense to Verratti, Jorginho, and Barella, but I mean, maybe he should have been given that opportunity in that game. Jorginho has struggled. Maybe you would have moved Verratti to the center mid position, bring in Locatelli. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, I guess, at this point in time. Another chance we can have for a change would be bringing on Sandro Tonali, who's just looked beautiful for AC Milan thus far. Even in his season, this is not last 5 games or so, this is in the season, he's averaged a 7.6 match rating via who scored, and also that includes an 8.8 rating in his last game against Atalanta. So far all season, his passing percentage is a crisp 86.7%. So I mean, Tonali and Locatelli can play together. Tonali is more of a one-dimensional-ish. Please don't argue with me, but I mean one-dimensional in the sense that he's very, center forward is, or center mid is where he is his best. Locatelli is more versatile. He could play that regista role, but he could also play box to box. He could be that support guy. So I mean, if there's an opportunity to see them play together, this game would definitely be the one for it, and I would love to see it because maybe Italy's starting to get solved. That's what happens with teams after they win. Other teams study where did they go wrong and how can they beat who is technically the best in Europe right now. So maybe it's time for that little switcheroo. Maybe not away from the formation, but from the players for sure. But hey, you know what? Maybe a formation change is in the cards as well. But 4-3-3 most likely is what they're going to go. As far as my predicted XI, I'm expecting a full-on change to up to, I think I put down here about 7 of 9 or 7 of 11 positions on the field. So my predicted XI is Donnarumma in the back as far as goalie, and thank God he's playing in Torino because he is not going to get booed. I've already talked about what I thought about AC Milan's fans, maybe the ultras, maybe both. I'm not too sure what I thought about that in the last game. But you know what? I get what he did to you guys, but you do not deserve to be at another Italian national team game. Support, I think the San Siro should be put on hold as far as hosting national team games. That's just my opinion. I think Di Marco's going to factor in on the left. It has nothing to do with Emerson, but I think a nice little change would be nice. Chiellini, and then Acerbi's going to factor in for Bonucci. Calabria in for Di Lorenzo. As far as midfield, I'm going to go with what I exactly think in Locatelli, Tonali, and then Barella stays in. And then up front, Lorenzo Pellegrini, I think, deserves that 110%. Should have been there to start over Insigne. But in this case, I'm pushing Insigne to the false 9 position with Chiesa on the right side. So that is it for as far as touching on the Italian national team. Forza Italia, Forza Azzurri. Let's get that 3rd place because you know what? 3rd is better than 4th. And you know what? If you make it to the finals and you lose and get 2nd place. I'd rather win and get 3rd. So let's, good luck to Gli Azzurri, and let's hope for a phenomenal 3rd place game. So now we're going to shift our focus onto Juventus. And so one thing I just want to get off my chest right now is there's been talks by one of Juventus's, I don't even know what you want to call them, maybe custodians, maybe water boys, I'm not too sure. But Aaron Ramsey has been taking swipes at Juventus since joining the Welsh national team. Says he feels good when he's managed correctly. What does he mean by that? Does he mean that Juventus is not managing correctly? He went on. When I read this quote, I just think of utter laziness. And I'm going to read this quote up for you. This is from Aaron Ramsey. He says, "My outputs in games are pretty high, and maybe I need more rest and recovery during the week instead of bringing fatigue into the games. The man that gets paid 7.5 million euros to play thinks he needs to do less." You know what, man? Never once liked the Aaron Ramsey signing. Didn't think it would have turned out this bad for Juventus, but honestly, come on, man. You are a professional soccer, football, calcio player. Like, act like one. And you want to take jabs when you're not a part of the team and you're on your international duty. Like, what do you expect? Not only that, but come on. The guy is always injured. And yet, we're the ones that are managing him wrong. The man is always injured. And when he comes in to play, he misses the next 2-3 games because he got injured in that game. Like, come on. And then on top of that, like, he rejected West Ham and Wolves last summer. He rejected a move to Newcastle the summer previous. He also rejected a move to PSG in 2019. Maybe relinquish the 7.5 million you're getting paid to show that you deserve to be played by going to another team. If you don't like what we're doing, then leave. No, you elect to take the 7.5 and talk and flap your gums. You know what, man? I really hope Juve get rid of this guy, because after reading this, I never had anything against Aaron Ramsey, but after this, anyways, that's my thoughts on the guy. I think he's useless. I didn't think he was going to be this kind of player where he's going to jab at Juventus and blame us for what he's turned out to be. Because in my eyes, and probably a lot of Juventus fans' eyes, it's definitely not our fault. It's his lack of maybe recovery, or if it's his lack of athleticism. How a man gets injured that much is unreal. But anyways, whatever. Bye, Ramsey. You can leave. Don't let the door hit you on your way out. But anyways, now on to some Mercato news. There's a few things going on right now for Juve as far as possible incoming players. Two situations. So one for January and one probably sooner than that. But anyways, the first one is Alan to Juve. If you guys recall, Alan, who currently plays at at Everton, who used to play for Napoli. Allegri wanted him before he made that move to Everton. So Juve now on the radar to get Alan, and this is for a possible January move. Allegri wanted Alan when he was at Napoli, especially because he plays mainly in that mezzala role, okay, which is perfect for a 4-2-3-1 position. This guy's probably a better Artur, but we haven't seen Artur play under Allegri yet. So, I mean, who's to say, right? We should be expecting to see Artur back with Juve to actually play after this international break. But Alan he was really, really good for Napoli. In his 5 years with Napoli, he did go on to score 11 goals and 22 assists. He's very strong in dribbling and tackling and winning the ball back, which is what Allegri wants from his players, especially if they move to a 4-2-3-1. And I'm quoting it like that because I personally think that's where we will find them, because they've got the players to do that. If they go to a 4-2-3-1, that role allows Locatelli to be more free-flowing. So Alan, I think, would be more lucrative to Juventus than an Artur, but that remains to be seen. And this could all be for naught if Artur becomes the player that Allegri hopes that he becomes after his injury. Or, as a backup, or just to go between both of them, that'd be amazing, right? More the merrier. But we do have to get some people, like, will we see maybe Ramsey in a move, hopefully, please, to the Premiership in January, maybe in a move to Everton, just so he can get off our books. Let's hope so, right? So that's something to keep an eye out. Alan to Juve, I'm all for it. I like it. That would definitely help. There is a situation growing in the Barcelona camp. Umtiti has not played a single minute under Koeman this year. I get it. Koeman may not even see himself as a Barca coach after this international break, but Barcelona and Umtiti are currently talking about a mutual termination. Juve is ready to pounce, but so is Milan. Umtiti will give Juventus much needed protection at the back. Right now, Juve only have one center back that is trustworthy to come in for Chiellini or Bonucci, and that's De Ligt. Literally, after him, we have Rugani, but no one's going to want to play him. De Sciglio, he's not a center back, so they'd have to change their whole formation if they brought him for those guys. But anyways, this is a very big opportunity because Umtiti's not a bad player. Only 28 years old, still heading into his prime, still has a lot to give, still called up by France. So, I mean, he could be a very, very good role player for Juve and maybe can form a partnership between him and Bonucci going forward as Chiellini starts to dwindle down his career, whenever that is, because the man is still a beast and still excels in what he does. So that's something to keep a look at. We don't know exactly when the termination will happen, but something to definitely keep a look at. Couple last little things I'm gonna talk about. Some happy things. As far as re-signing current expiring contracts, Cuadrado, it's been reported saying that he is guaranteed a new deal. He's 33. He's only got a few years left at Juventus, but his output per game, he has been the best, most consistent Juventus player over the last 3-4 years. Deserves a contract renewal, but not only that, but probably be the cheapest way Juve can keep someone of Cuadrado's style in the team. So to me, is a very, very, very good chance that he stays. It's a very good choice by Juventus to do this. So it's looking like he is, according to reports, guaranteeing a new deal. I don't know when that will be done. Probably not until the end of the year when this is all done, because they don't want it to hang over his head. So they're probably going to wait it out. Right now, heading into this summer, they're probably going to look for Cuadrado to sign a discounted deal, just because this summer Juve need to decide whether or not they want to pick up Morata. I know there's a lot of reports out there right now saying that Juve might cut ties with Morata because they got to pick up the loan. They got to pick up the option, not the option, but the obligation on Chiesa. So hopefully, maybe they can do both, Morata and Chiesa. If Atletico, it hasn't been said if Atletico is going to drop the fee. It's an option, not an obligation on Morata. So maybe they'll drop the fee to make it easier on Juve to be able to pick him up. Then obviously next summer we have Locatelli coming up. So there's a lot of these loan deals to buy. So we need to really be precise on our finances, because, I mean, Juve aren't really lucrative with funds right now. So and apparently, according to Tutto Juve, with all expiring contracts at the end of this year, they're looking to keep everybody. That includes Bernardeschi and Mattia Perin. So, I mean, if you're hoping for Donnarumma, I don't think that's going to happen. I actually think Donnarumma is going to be 100% the starter at PSG by the end of the year. Maybe even by the end of this 2021, heading into 2022. So, yeah, if you're hoping for that, that's probably not going to happen. And they're looking to keep everybody. I mean, this team was essentially almost built by... These players that are leaving are the players that Allegri wanted. So that's probably why they're also going to keep them just as stopgaps until we're able to lucratively fund other moves and whatnot. So, and last but not least, probably the biggest news out of this break is right now, imminently, Paulo Dybala is ready to put pen to paper on a new deal, and it's about time. Antun is reportedly heading back to Argentina. This can only mean two things: whether the signature is going to happen, or he's just been in Torino for way too long and it looks like it's just not going to happen. But right now, per Romeo Agresti of Goal, he's reporting that it's due to major framework of a new deal have been agreed upon. So the reason why he's going back is to pretty much iron out, cross the T's and dot the I's, I guess, and they say in the world of finances or whatever. So that's also really, really good for Juve, especially for Dybala, because Dybala's been lights out thus far leading up to that unfortunate injury against Sampdoria, but he is due to come back for Roma. That's his goal, is for Roma, which is this upcoming weekend, not this weekend, but the weekend after. So hopefully he will be back for that. The deal, what it may look like, is a renewal to 2024-2025. As far as the money, it looks like it's going to be a 10 mil euro deal with an 8 mil base salary, 9 mil if he achieves certain performance goals. According to La Gazzetta dello Sport, the main reason the deal is constructed this way is because of Cherubini. I know I probably mispronounced that name, but anyways, is wanting to make more financially responsible deals for the club. So he figures if it's performance-based and with the base salary the way it is, it's better that way. And that also includes why they've been doing a lot of 2-year loans with obligation to buy, because instead of funding the money all up front now, this just makes more sense. So I guess, you know what, if that's the way they feel, that's hopefully it works out for the team. I just want to see this team succeed. And now, honestly, to tell you the truth, the rest of the season after Dybala inks this deal, I'm excited to see what he's able to bring to this team, because he's already brought a lot. So with this monkey off the back, we actually might see a top 5 player in the world in Dybala. Maybe, who knows what it's going to mean for the team, but maybe this is something that it's exciting. It's actually exciting, because now finally we can go back to what it should have been previous to Cristiano Ronaldo and focus on the team. So with that being said, that is it. That is all. Thank you for joining me for podcast 4.5. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Please add your comments down to the bottom, talking about if you agreed with me, if you didn't agree with me, if things you want to see me talk about, me and Leo, and or guests talk about on the weekend. But once again, thank you for taking the time out and supporting the channel, because your support means the most to me. Forza Italia, Forza Azzurri. We shall see you next time.